What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nudi Orao, and I'm joined once again by Janelle. So, Janelle, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Janelle Okun, and I'm happy to be back here.
Thank you. So, Janelle, it's not her first time. If you've not watched our first video, you can go ahead and watch it. But it's on mental health series. So today we want to do something fun around self-care. I don't know, people throw the term self-care around, but they don't actually really know what it means. So maybe we can start by what is the definition of self-care, and then we'll get to share some of the things that we do for self-care.
Yeah, so self-care is just taking time to do the things that improve your physical health and your mental health.
Yeah.
That's it.
Improve your physical health and mental health.
Yeah.
So is there a link between physical health and mental health?
Greatly.
Yeah.
Our mental health can affect our physical health. At the end of the day, if you're experiencing stress, you'll not be able to sleep. And when you don't sleep, you become tired. So there's a link between everything. And when you're tired, you cannot get up and do things.
I didn't know that. I thought I always knew some of the things that happen in your body affects your mental health. Yeah. Like, for example, I lived as a 50 kg to 55 kg person for my longest.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant. The first time I got pregnant, I added so much weight. I was 85 by the time I was delivering. I was 95 by the time I was doing for the 3rd month clinic. And I felt really terrible. Like, I could feel the weight in my mind, but I didn't know how to figure it out. It's very interesting that you say physical and mental health are linked. I never thought about it like that, but I know my experience that the bigger I grew, the more crappy I felt.
So your physical health affected my mental health in that case. Yeah. So sometimes you can experience headaches after a long day.
Yeah.
Because you've been stressed.
Yeah.
So that affects your physical health.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're getting headaches, it's physical. So there's a correlation between everything.
But also come to think of it, I think when I was pregnant, I was very stressed. And so I ate a lot. Like, I think also that there's that correlation. So it's a two-way thing. So I wasn't happy when I was obese.
Yeah.
And then I also realized that even what contributed to my obesity, and I'd like to call it what it is so that I'm able to work on it, is the fact that my mental health suffered when I was pregnant with my first child. Anyway, self-care. What are some of the ways that you take care of yourself?
So personally, honestly speaking, self-care for me looks like a long shower. I'm just taking time to apply my body products and just smell nice in the morning. That is just self-care in itself already. But then again, also just looking nice. For me, when I'm feeling nice physically, it also boosts my mental esteem. Apart from that, I take myself out on dates. It doesn't have to be something expensive. Even just buying chips and soda. Yeah. Reading. I love reading a lot. I feel like those are some of the things that I do personally.
Yeah, so let me confess, for a very long time, I don't think that I've had a self-care routine. I've been a workaholic for the last 10 years. I think I'm recovering now that I started therapy last year. Yeah. No, I did therapy at some point, but it wasn't that great. I feel for me, the therapy that I did this year was my most effective. Yeah. And I began to look at the issue of self-care very differently. Because I always thought, for me, self-care was something that came after all the work had been put in. And then I realized, I need to pay myself first. So I'm big on investment now, saving money, investing money and stuff. And one of the biggest rule of investment is pay yourself first. Paying yourself means you invest. When you get money, instead of waiting until you've spent on everything else before you take the rest to save and invest, you need to start by saving and investing first. And then whatever you have remaining is able to now cater for your needs. It comes from a principle that when you have more, you spend more. When you have less, you spend less. So your spending will always adapt to your income. So that back to now me and my body, I've realized that what I used to do is when I had free time, I would do things. And then I realized it's not about having free time. It's about this is part of my routine.
I'm understanding now. Sometimes when you're working, you've overworked yourself the whole week, and then that Saturday,
let me go out for a drink. So like for me, I pay my body first. I think that was one of the biggest things that came out of therapy for me. And so one of the things that I decided to do, which I've not done for the last 2 months, but that I'm committed to do starting this month, is every 15th of every month. I was born on 15th of May. And this was a brilliant idea from my therapist, that every 15th of every month, I take myself out and like do anything that I want to do. A massage, go on a solo like trip, like just leave everyone and go and just spend and come back, go somewhere and just read a book. Like every 15th of every month, I committed to be able to do. And of course, like I've started falling off, but then for those who know, like that period of my life that everything is a bit chaotic. But then that is one of the things that I'm committing to do in this season. Ensuring I can commemorate that 15th of every month and say like I did something for myself. The other thing that I've done for self-care is buy books. Like I bought so many books. And I'm now investing in reading and expanding my knowledge. So right now, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is real estate and interior design. And so I'm expanding my knowledge around that. And so I've signed up for Skillshare. I am on Pinterest. Like I am literally scrolling things and redecorating things in my head as I wait to be able to apply them. And I'm also really into anything that is able to edify me. So like currently, investment is one of my biggest knowledge areas. So I've invested in books, I've invested in watching YouTube videos and learning. And on Skillshare, like you get to find, it's not sponsored by Skillshare. I'm not yet there where things are being sponsored. But I found
to get there.
Amen. But then I found it very helpful to be on this platform and to just learn very new things and to be able to implement them. So I feel like in this phase of my life, feeding my brain with things that I really enjoy, not things that I'm doing out of a necessity, is really part of my self-care routine. The other self-care routine that these I've done for a very long time is to put serious boundaries. So that people don't step all over me. Like my walls are very, very high. And so everyone around me during this season are people that I really want to be in and to be around me. And lastly, I really try to spend on myself. So I go shopping. I think shopping for me is such a big deal and not looking at it as me wasting, it's me investing in myself. Like I have done all these things, I need to be able to take care of myself. So I don't have a problem buying things for myself, buying presents for myself and appreciating myself for everything that I do that is like a job well done. I get to appreciate myself.
I would love shopping for self-care any day. Any day.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like I love the reading part because our brain gets stimulated a lot when you learn. And I didn't know that, honestly speaking. Until I did some training on trauma. And then one of the ways in which you could rewire your brain was reading. And I was so fascinated, like just reading.
Yeah, which I have tried to really go to the gym. I've been going to the gym for the last 5 years. I'm still on my way. I've paid subscriptions, I've taken like out everything, like that is a part of my life. And I remember my therapist saying, and I refer a lot to her, is that I needed to exercise and I needed to drink a lot of water and I needed to eat well. I've managed to eat well. I managed to walk for a couple of weeks. So the walking part really was fun. and then I couldn't anymore because of things like you guys will know why. But then I drink lots and lots of water, and that is didn't mention as part of self-care.
Yeah.
I drink a lot. I think I'm one of those people that don't struggle with water, and I think that's a big part of self-care as well, and sleep.
And I feel like that's why your skin is so glowy.
Yeah.
Because you drink a lot of water.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I drink a lot of water, and I also sleep now. I sleep properly. Previously, I worked so hard that I rarely slept. I think the workaholic part of me really took away from me, and so I didn't actually get to sleep the way I wanted to sleep. But right now, working remotely, being in charge of my program and my schedule, I've managed to put in a lot of sleep as well. And I've realized that when I sleep well, I wake up feeling much better. So I'm still working on the exercise part.
Yeah.
I really feel that I will get to a point that I will be such a gym rat. I feel it in me. Like I just want to commit to that and to be fit, because I've realized that my mental health suffers when I gain weight.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things people are not ready to discuss, because like there's this thing of making weight look very nice and very, I feel like not body shame people, and just appreciate your body the way it is. But like I've also realized that on the flip side, when you have so much weight, then your body overworks. You're not healthy, and that's what people are not ready to have a discussion about. But I'm not happy about my weight, and I will not pretend that I am, so that like it's like body positivity. Like I'm not in that body positivity train. I know I have to work on my weight, and I need to go back to the ideal weight because it makes me feel better. It gives me more energy, and I'm able to concentrate and to be able to do the things that I want longer if I am fit than if I am overweight or obese. So exercise is one of the things that I really want to do, and to commit to a plan to be able to do self-care. I don't know that there are certain things that you feel that you want to be able to do in your next phase.
I feel like we should really encourage each other. Talking about weight, honestly speaking, for me, I love and I appreciate myself the way I am, definitely. But, I would not lose anything if I lost like a little. I had started going to the gym last year. I went for 3 weeks and gave up.
Yeah.
So if you're starting on it, we can be sisters.
We could be accountability partners. So from January, February, we will be gym buddies.
And we have to be serious about it.
We should.
So
and I feel it helps when you have an accountability partner. Yeah. So I started, and I told my husband to be my accountability partner. But like he was so fit. He would run. Did you how many kilometers in the morning? He would go play football and all that. Right now he's not that fit. So he's also working on his weight. Finally, we are together. But then he just wasn't getting the whole gym thing. Like he was so fit and would do these many things that now I feel maybe like he's on that train. I'll restart that conversation. But in January, we could be accountability partners.
Let's talk about diet.
Diet. I have been on the strain of not eating carbs for 20 years now. I cannot, not 20, 80 years, I cannot not eat carbohydrates. I don't know, there's something that carbs just does to your body. Like it makes you happier. It makes you feel, it just makes you feel like it's a feel good. Yeah, they just make you so comfortable. Like imagine just eating, like for me, it's bread on peanut butter. And I never even used to be a bread person, but like peanut butter just makes my entire life. And I can't eat peanut butter alone, so I have to apply it on something. Cakes. I love cakes. I used to love ugali. I no longer do, but I really like rice. I used to also like chapati, but I no longer do. And now I really like rice.
KFC on that list.
KFC.
Yes,
I'm
please include it
I'm
on
not a
that.
fan of KFC, but Ariella is, and she doesn't add weight. Like, those are the things that I look at and I'm like, life is so unfair. Like Ariella and Van, they eat like the entire house. But they're always fit. Van is here. They always look nice. I'm like, I don't even eat like these children in this house. But they are so fit and I am not so fit and I don't get it. But carbs is really like my thing. Carbs and carbonated drinks.
Oh, so everything, I feel like we're doing the wrong thing. If you want to be serious on this weight loss journey, you have to sacrifice. So I'm starting to sacrifice as from next year.
When next year?
January.
What's happening in January? New year, new goals, new body,
new goals,
new diet.
Stay tuned for the new me next year.
Yeah, but what's your what messes up with your diet? Like, what is it that you cannot live without, but you know is very unhealthy?
I eat fries every day at the office. Like literally every day. I love fries. I love snacking a lot. I don't think I can watch a movie without snacking. I love milkshakes. I love soda. Those are some of the things.
I was learning something about milk.
Yeah.
That old people have no business. Old people means you're not a child.
Yeah.
Anyone who is an adult does not have any business taking milk.
Why?
Because milk is a growth something. It's for growth. So that's why children take milk. Once you're an adult, you have no business.
It's not about if it's making me grow in the right places.
But that contributes to weight. That's the thing. Like, you can grow in the right places and still be obese.
Okay, guys, I wouldn't mind being curvy, honestly, but
you know you add weight everywhere.
Being lighter feels better.
And when you think like you're adding weight to be curvy, they just settle in your midsection. All the milk settles in the midsection.
Hey, that's like a conversation for another.
Yeah, but I think we should bring a nutritionist on set and maybe talk about diet, because I think that is one of the things that we really need to talk about and break down. And one of the most fascinating things that I also get to hear is like, you being thin doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy.
Yeah.
And so going for those tests cholesterol, and ensuring that you are healthy, then that means a lot. Like, I'm not a fan of fries, I'm not a fan of snacks. I just really am a carbs person. I love carbohydrates.
And also
and portion control.
Yeah, as much as sometimes you'd like to throw caution to the wind, I've been really reading a lot. We are what we eat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whatever you eat, like, largely affects who you are.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just know what you're supposed to do, but you just don't do it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then I was watching this Instagram celeb of mine. She was saying she's been on a 30-day protein diet only, excluding carbs, and she was saying how it worked wonders for her and everything. I'm like, I think that it's something I would like.
It's called something. It's called something like just eating meat and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a carnivorous.
And she was saying
carnivorous diet.
She was saying it's good for her mind. Like, a lot of things have changed. So I don't know. Maybe in January you can try
different diets. But I also believe like if I go that route of diet, I would definitely lose the battle somewhere. I've thought of gastric bypass.
Excuse me. No.
I've thought of a lot of things. Because like mine, I've assessed and realized, like, when I started having kids, I just started adding this weight.
Yeah.
It's not that much of my diet has changed. It's just pretty much the same thing. I don't eat a lot and I don't eat the most unhealthy milk. Like, mine is just carbohydrates. I can't live without carbohydrates. And I don't eat as much veggies and fruits. But I was thinking like maybe mine is a serious case of a hormonal imbalance.
Yeah, because you used to be small.
I used to be small, and then I went on a fast. So after Ariella, I went on a fast, and then also did some kidogo exercise, especially walking, and I lost weight from 95 to 62. So I wedded when I was 60 something. But then when I had like another child again and COVID and stuff, like I just added this much weight back. And so it's been very difficult this time round to lose weight. And I know when you grow older, losing weight becomes more difficult because your metabolism drops. And so I'm like, you can go to the gym, you can eat right, you can wherever, but your body is working against you. And so part of what I'm researching is how to increase your metabolism so that you can burn fat even when you're sleeping. You don't have to like rely on going to the gym to burn fat. But diet, I think, is a big conversation that we definitely need to bring a nutritionist on board so that we have a proper discussion around it. But our consensus is weight is not healthy.
Okay, at the end of the day,
we need to agree.
We need to agree that weight is not healthy. What are some of the problems that come with being obese? High blood pressure.
Yes, but we also probably also need to agree that there are people who are unable to.
But I've been a big girl all my life, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I said the day I'll have like a big tummy is when I'll start having problems. But then again, I want to do away with that thinking. Because I've just kept adding weight and being comfortable with it. Yeah.
So maybe my wake up call was when nowadays when I go, I take flights and I ride on Jumbo Jet. I keep the seat belt doesn't fit. So I'm thinking, I'll be those people
I'm sorry for laughing at
it's okay. I need to be laughed at. I'll be those people who will take 2 seats in a flight.
Serious?
You see, like, imagine you're sitting with Job in the flight and then you're taking up all the space. Utamurumia or say, let me take 2 seats so that I'm not like, imagine passing your boundary and sitting on the other person's seat as well, like embarrassing.
It's not
funny, but like, for me, like, I always cover myself with something. Like a shawl or something, so that the attendants don't see that my belt is not really. There are people who ask for that extender.
We have not gotten there. I remember one time we were trying this supermarket checkpoints when you get in, you're searched by security. So I was with my aunt. She's equally as big. So she was not pregnant, but the security guard told her, welcome back. And I said, and then she just started crying, imagine. Because it had been an issue for her.
So then you understand, like, now it affects your mental health. Because like it affects your self-esteem. So like her crying, like it means it's coming from a place of deep trauma. And though we are not advocating for fat shaming people, we have to understand that weight is such an inconvenience. It's inconveniences you from a lot of things. I've learned it. Like you can't walk long distances. Like I don't remember like when last I was someone who used to walk. I would hike, I would walk, I would do all these things like that I can't do now.
Yeah.
Because I would take like a small walk and then I would be panting. Yeah. And that's not until I was 23, I was the healthiest person. And then like when I got pregnant and then I went back after pregnancy, I was 65, which is still was a normal weight for my height. But right now, it's a lot. So I think we really definitely need to talk about weight and how it affects your mental health. I think that correlation needs to come out clearly so that people understand that it's not just about you gaining weight, it's about like the effects that it has on your well-being.
Yeah, because I can't even walk in heels for a long time.
I used to walk in heels, I used to run in heels.
And I also feel bad when I go to fit clothes and then you don't get the
size.
Hey, you start telling yourself, oh, something is going on.
Yeah.
So our big girl, all the big girls, kindly comment and tell us what are some of the tips you've been doing.
Yeah.
But back to self-care, we've said there is, you've mentioned diet, whatever you eat at the end of the day, watching what you eat, exercising, sleeping well, taking water at the end of the day. Boundaries. And maybe you can tell us about boundaries. What are some of the boundaries you've created? Like, let's say with family members. Especially when you're a big sister or an elder sibling.
Yeah.
And you have like a smaller sister and things like that.
Yeah. So for me, boundaries are boundaries. It doesn't matter who you are. Actually, mine is so strict. Even I don't allow my children to invade my space like that.
Yeah.
I am very clear about the fact that you're a human being. I am a human being. We have to coexist. You cannot bully me. The children are very good at bullying and pushing the envelope so that you're able to flip. And so that's one of the things that I don't allow myself to do.
Yeah.
So it's simple. It's sleeping time, sleep. It's feeding time, feed. You have something to say it. Don't throw tantrums at me. You don't cry. Don't do these things. Talk. Use your mouth.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want to say. So for me, boundaries looks like acknowledging that I'm just as human as you are.
Yeah.
And so I am not an angel and you are human. I am not a superhuman. I'm just as human as you are. And so for us to be able to coexist in one place, we have to ensure that we set clear boundaries. This is how far you can go with me. You cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot. And also expect that I will not do the same things to you.
So if, for example, this is just a funny one. You buy a 30-inch pass-down wig, very new, and then tomorrow you see me rocking it. What would be your reaction?
And I didn't give it to you?
Yeah.
I will take it.
From my hand in the supermarket?
Yes. And actually report you are a thief.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter who you are. You're a thief.
She said she'll take the wig and report me.
I will take that wig and report you. And that doesn't mean that like that's how it has to happen. Like even as children we used to steal each other's clothes all the time.
Yeah.
But I think when you get to adulthood, there's some level of decorum that you always have to practice.
Yeah.
You can't just invade someone's privacy like that. It's not okay. Because what you do to people is the same thing you need to expect to be done to you.
Yeah.
And so mine is, if I cannot do something to you, don't do it to me. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Just respect my boundaries, and then I respect your boundaries, and then we cordially can coexist. And for me, as I say, it even goes to children. I think children are brought up in a system where they don't take responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
And I believe children are extremely bright. Children know.
Yeah.
Children know when they are pushing the envelope. Children know when now they are crossing the boundaries. But children actually do know. If you're a parent who refuses to be bullied, the children will not be bullying you. And you even realize that it happens that there's a parent that the children know this one we can bully. Then there's a parent, my husband, they know they can walk over him and stuff and he will not do anything. But it doesn't happen to me. I will beat you.
So I think one of the issues we should tackle also on your channel is setting boundaries as a recovering people pleaser.
Yeah.
That is something. But about boundaries, I actually learned it's so easy just to say no to this and that. And I used to struggle with it sometimes.
And at times you can say no and people don't respect it.
Yeah.
Follow it up with some actions. If you do this, I will do this. This is what you expect when you do this. When you throw a tantrum at me at the supermarket and throw yourself on the ground, I will leave you on the ground and I will go home.
You guys, I'm lucky about Patricia's
You want to cry aimlessly? I don't know what you are crying about. I will ignore you. I will not even ask you what you are crying about. That is not my role. I also have moods. I can decide to have mood swings. I don't show you my mood swings. Don't show me yours. Let's coexist. Because we need to do. Because at the end of the day, one of the things you have to learn about boundaries is every single time that you put boundaries for yourself, you're demarcating the line between you and that person. That also means that it's two ways.
Yeah.
So I'm also not going to throw tantrums at you. It doesn't go one way, it goes both ways. So boundaries are not only good for me, Boundaries are also good for my children. Boundaries are also good for the people I live with, for my friends, for my co-workers.
So how you would want to be treated and how you would want others to treat you. Which is
so the higher the wall, the better for both of us, because you also rest assured that I will not invade your space. So don't invade mine, I will not invade yours, and then we treat each other with respect. Yes. So thank you, Janelle. I think this discussion, it has meandered, but I hope you learned something.
Yeah,
I don't know whether you have a closing remark.
Just to refresh maybe on some of the self-care tips I've learned today, that watching what you eat is part of self-care. Exercising, taking water, which I had forgotten, honestly speaking. We said reading books. What else have we forgot?
Exercise. You said exercise.
Yeah.
Putting some boundaries in place.
Mm-hmm. Taking time to yourself.
Yeah.
Doing things for yourself that you love.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do for self-care now?
I'm going to exercise. I know I'm going to exercise. That is one of the things that is still remaining in my list for obvious reasons I can't disclose, but I will. I know that I'll do the 15th of every month routine. Mm-hmm. So do different things on 15th of every month. I think those two, and basically to be more deliberate about paying myself first, ensuring that I put money aside for this.
Will you teach me investing in yourself?
Putting money aside for yourself. That I think is a big deal.
I've learned a lot from you. Thank you so much. It was such a fun session, and thanks for having me on your channel.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, comment, please ask down below. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, to like, all that good stuff. Until next time, bye.